They lived in that house for 13 years. Never saw a door in that hallway, not once. Then one morning, there it was. Heavy, old, and locked from the inside. Lydia Monroe, 2024, daughter of Howard and Dana Monroe. It was just a regular house. You know, Mom gardened, Dad grilled, nothing strange, until ... The door. Brindle Hollow wasn't a town you'd ever see on a map unless you were already standing in it. Tucked into a narrow valley beneath the Blue Ridge Mountains, it was the kind of place that clung to its own past. One diner, one gas station, and the long forest-lined roads that locals said could play tricks on your eyes in the fog. The Monroe family moved into their house on Teague Lane in the fall of 2010. It was an old colonial with a wraparound porch and flaking shutters. The kind of place you tell yourself has good bones. Howard Monroe was a retired surveyor who loved silence. Donna, a former music teacher, kept the house warm with lemon cake and choppin' on vinyl. Their kids, Ben, Marcus, and Lydia, grew up with scraped knees, blueberry-stained fingers, and Christmases lit by wood stove. For 13 years, nothing unusual ever happened. No local legends, no flickering lights, just the occasional raccoon in the attic and the leaky basement after the spring thaw. But that changed on the morning of December 3rd, 2023. Howard had gone upstairs early, coffee in hand, to fetch a chisel from his workshop. Halfway down the hallway, a hallway he'd walked 1,000 times, he stopped. There was a door where there had never been one before. Between the linen closet and the attic crawl space, a single tall wooden door. The paint was dark, almost black. The brass doorknob looked melted, as if heat had warped it. The wood smelled ... wrong, like wet leaves and something older. Moose-skier. Howard blinked, reached out, touched it. Cold. He didn't say anything until Dana came home from the market. When she followed him upstairs, she gasped. Journal entry, Donna Monroe, December 4th, 2023. Howie swears it wasn't there before. I thought he was confused, maybe hallucinating. But no, it's there. That's not drywall. That's old wood. We would have seen it before. We should have. They tried opening it. It didn't move. They even took a crowbar to the frame. Nothing. Solid. As if the door wasn't set into the wall, but grown from it. Lydia returned home from college a few days later for winter break. She saw the door and laughed. She thought it was a prank, something her dad had built to mess with them, until she tried to turn the knob. It burned her palm. After that, they pushed a bookshelf in front of it. And for a few days, they tried to pretend it wasn't there at all. But then the dreams began. News clipping. Brindle Hollow Weekly, January 14th, 2024. Missing woman, Dana Monroe, 58, last seen leaving Brindle Hollow bookstore. Husband reports she never returned home. It happened quietly. No storm. No scream. Just absence. Dana had gone out for her usual walk. She'd planned to stop by the bookstore, then pick up dinner. Howard waited until 9 p.m. before calling around. Her coat was gone, but her purse, phone, and keys were still in the house. The police treated it like a missing persons case. But Howard insisted. She never left the property. He pointed them toward the door. But when the officers walked upstairs, the wall was smooth, no sign of hinges, no discoloration in the paint. They gave him a quiet nod, wrote a polite report. Officer Ray Delaney, Brindle PD, 2024. Hall looked normal. No door, not even a seam. Guy looked exhausted. Maybe grieving does that. Lydia stayed. She dug through her mother's belongings, desperate for a clue. Behind the radiator in the master bedroom, she found Donna's leather journal, crumpled and scorched at the edges. The last few entries were erratic, disjointed. Journal entry, Dana Monroe, December 24th, 2023. The house creaks differently now. The wind used to knock in one place, now it circles. I think the door listens. Sometimes I hear music behind it. Like an old record, playing too slow. On January 8th, the door returned. Lydia was the first to see it. It was just ... there again. Same place. Same warped knob. Same scent of mold, old books, and rust. Only this time the knob turned. Not much. Just enough to make a click. Like something unlocking from the other side, Lydia screamed. Howard came running. But by the time he got there, it was shut tight. Lydia's voicemail to Ben, January 8th, 2024, it opened. I heard something inside. It's not a room. It single quotes S... deeper, like a shaft. Or a throat. I'm scared, Ben. Howard began sleeping outside the workshop with the door barricaded. The dog refused to come upstairs. On January 14th, the bookshelf was pushed over. No one admitted to touching it. Then on February 2nd, Howard Monroe was found dead. He was slumped in the corner of his basement workshop, eyes wide open. No injuries, no drugs or alcohol. A cassette recorder sat beside him, still running. Found tape labeled "Do Not Play." It opened last night, just a few inches. There was light, a glow. I thought I saw her, Dana, but it wasn't her. Face, her eyes were wrong. I think I know where she went. I think ... On next. Lydia left the house 2 days later. She never returned. The property was sold in April to a couple from Roanoke. They moved in with their 10-year-old son. By May 5th, the new owners filed a complaint with the realtor. Email, urgent property concern, May 2024. The upstairs hallway has a door that wasn't in the blueprint. We didn't see it during our final walkthrough. Our contractor says it's impossible. The wall is load-bearing. But the door's there now. It won't open. They hired a carpenter to remove it. But when he arrived, the door was gone. He returned the next day with tools. And found it back again. He quit the job. Since then, 6 residents have occupied the home. Each has left abruptly. One claimed to hear voices calling their name at night. Another reported seeing a figure staring at them from the hallway mirror. A woman in a brown cardigan, holding a journal. Dr. Elena Rios, parapsychologist. 2025. There's a theory in psychic trauma studies. Some spaces trap memory like insects in amber. Maybe it's not haunted. Maybe it's echoing. Lydia never returned to Brindle Hollow. But she's mailed letters, handwritten, no return address. In one, she wrote, "Letter, undated, found in police records." It's still there. I dream of it every winter. The door opens now, wider. Each time it shows me more. And it smells like my mother's hands after she worked in the garden. But I know it's not her. Not anymore. Some things are built, some are remembered, and some. The worst things are invited. The Monroes didn't summon anything. They lived. They loved. And then one day, the house remembered something that wasn't supposed to come back. Sometimes, horror isn't a presence. It's a door. And sometimes, it opens inward. The fear archive outro music fades in.